Just gonna do it.
So let it be written. So let it be done. This is Tabletop Terrors, and we're about to roll 20. But before we do that, before we jump into the interview, a Tabtarian toast. May you mend the first break. May you kill the first snake. May you conquer everything you undertake.
Hear, hear.
Slancha.
My lemon water.
Drinking the hard stuff.
Yes.
So I am here with two wonderful people, and they're going to tell you about something very cool. But first, I want to let them introduce themselves. So I'm going to start on my right with Suzanne.
Hello, I'm Suzanne Wallace. I am brand manager for Roll20. And that's who I am. Hi.
Awesome.
All right.
I am Stephanie. I'm the community manager for Roll20, and I'm excited to be here.
Awesome.
And you can hear me, right?
Yeah, can hear you great. Actually,
I expected my face to pop up because of Google Hangouts, and I just realized that it wouldn't do that, right?
Oh, it will. It actually does for the viewers.
Oh, okay, good.
So we're good there.
Okay.
And so for everyone who's watching, Google Hangouts. Speaking of Google Hangouts, you might notice my grainy old camera here. Listen, it just decided to poop the bed right before we went live, and this is my Bison cam on this old laptop. So bear with me.
Wow.
The information is important. For those tuning in, and for those who are going to be watching, all you Tabtarians, will one of you ladies just tell people who don't know, who've been living under a rock, what is Roll20 in the very first place?
Suzanne?
Yeah. I was going to say, let's do this. Roll20, if you haven't heard, is the virtual tabletop that makes it super easy for you to play all kinds of role-playing games online. Whether your friends are really, really far away across the country or in other countries, and maybe if you just don't have an in-person gaming group but would really like to get gaming, Roll20 is there to be a solution for that. And it's completely browser-based, so no downloads are required. The free subscription, free membership, I should say, is there and includes everything that you would need to get into a game. We do have paid subscriptions, but they're absolutely not required. You can play free. And yeah, it's meant to be the wonderful solution to how do I play more games, please?
That's perfect. And I actually remember when you guys kickstarted. And it was super exciting as a gamer at the time because you were sort of first as far as in the actual milieu of like a virtual tabletop across the internet. And so I'm really happy that the quality is so high and that the site is so awesome and easy to use, because it's what we all wanted for a lot of years. And a few people tried and failed. And in my opinion, Roll20 finally came along and succeeded. So
we think so too. And I think the coolest thing about Roll20 is that, like you said, we kickstarted in 2012, and we came along a little later, Suzanne and I. But the reality is we are still very involved with our community. We find out what they're looking for and do our best to try to bring them everything we can conceivably. Of course, we can't get it all right, but we try. And I think that's my favorite part is we literally are always getting better. We just actually expanded in the last week up from about 8 people for the last 5 years to 16. So new developers, new people in marketing, new people making modules, new people helping me in customer support and community. It's awesome.
that's pretty big. Doubling in size in one shot is pretty great. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it wasn't quite all one shot, but it was definitely within a couple months. So it's
Sure.
close enough, I would say.
Sure. Yeah, we're a little independent, RPG publisher, Absolute Tabletop, and so we know how it is. There's 4 of us, and we do everything.
Yep.
So even just adding one person to what we do would be a big deal. So I can understand. I mean, when you have 8 people, it's essentially a family, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's big
Our
news.
reunion is Gen Con every year.
There you go.
Nerdy family that
Yes.
we love.
The best kind, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
families.
Yeah. We could totally assign relatives to people. I guess another day, but our co-founders share the role of mother and father
I'm
equally
thinking
between the 3 of them.
Okay, so Nolan is dad.
So, well, we have Nolan, we have Richard, and we have Riley, who are the co-founders. Two of them have stepped onto other projects right now. So technically, Nolan is wearing the head of mother and father.
Okay.
But yes, and then we have our team we've got lead developer Steve. Other developers are Phil, and our new guys are Justin and Nathaniel and Jeff.
Awesome.
And then we got a bunch of people on the marketing team too. But the development team is the big excitement because I think in terms of the people who would listen in your audience, because more developers means more cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. More APIs, more integration, more systems and things like that. So I'm excited. One of the things that I'm most excited to talk about is one of the things that we're actually here to discuss tonight, which is, am I allowed to say it, or do one of you want to say it?
All right. Roll20 Con? Yeah.
Roll20 Con, which is, I think, okay, I missed the first one.
Sure.
Totally not going to lie to you. Totally missed the first one. And so I want you to tell our viewers, what is Roll20 Con and why in the heck should people get up out of their beds, off of their couches, and participate?
So this is the cool thing. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, this is the best part. You don't have to get up from your bed or your couch to participate in Roll20 Con. You don't have to put on deodorant. You don't have to take a shower.
So me every day, I can go. That's
me too.
Perfect.
That's great. You don't have to change.
I'm a shoo-in.
We work from home, so you can't smell behind a camera. Roll20 Con is last year. It was a 24-hour online only event where we just got as many people online as we could, and we played lots of games. Same thing this year, except we heard the feedback, and they said, don't put it on a Friday again, you crazy people. And oh, by the way, 24 hours is nuts. So instead, what we did is we extended it over a 2-day, Saturday and Sunday, the 24th and 25th of June. And we made it so that the time zones are extended actually through all the time zones. So no matter where you are in the world on the 24th and 25th, it will be Roll20 Con. We are encouraging as many GMs to come on and start games for people so that on the day of there's pickup games, but you can also go in and schedule games now. We've got the folks from D&D Adventures League who are doing a bunch of stuff to help pick up and get more people. But more importantly, so we've got a small goal, which is to get as many people online playing games as possible, like I said. But our bigger goal is to try to raise as much money as we can for CyberSmile, and that is what our charity last year and this year. They're pretty much our go-to charity so far. We love working with them. Their diversity and anti-cyberbullying initiatives are just very in line with how we run things at Roll20. And so we're super happy to be supporting them again. And you're going to have an opportunity to donate to them via a t-shirt drive through Teespring, which 100% of the proceeds will go to them, and a charity art pack. Same thing, all the proceeds going, and that's a combination of all of our art creators, a couple of our creators on the marketplace, and then also live donations on a Twitch stream that we're doing. And that's actually going to be between 10 and 12 a.m. on Saturday Pacific and 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday Pacific, and that's all on the Roll20con.net pages. And we'll have tons of Twitch streamers and people from last year pretty much, and hosts, and talking about Roll20 and just having fun. And that schedule and all those people haven't been announced yet. So
but they
it's
will
Friday.
Be soon. If you check out Roll20con.net on Friday, and we will be releasing at least little tidbits about more information about Roll20Con, and there will be more coming next week as well.
Yes.
Perfect. So if you're watching this stream right now live, that's 2 days from now. We're talking Friday the 9th. If you're watching this tomorrow or the next day, hey, check out the dungeon, which is what we call our description. Go delving in the dungeon, get you some XP.
I like it.
And click on Roll20Con.
I actually forgot the best part for the faint.
Tell me the best part.
So that's all the cool stuff that we as cool people are going to get to do for CyberSmile. But we also, I forgot, are giving you all, anybody who is not obviously a Plus or a Pro subscriber already, all games that are registered for Roll20Con. So when you make a game, you click the Roll20Con box, you schedule it for one of those 2 days. Hint, you don't actually have to play that day. But starting on June 17th, Plus features, dynamic lighting, and an ad-free experience will be unlocked from June 17th to the end of the convention. So if you want to try out Plus, that's your chance to do it.
Gotcha. So essentially, if I go on there between the 17th and the con, I get to try Roll20 Plus for free.
Correct.
Yes.
I log on. I have no deodorant. I have not yet showered.
You get dynamic lighting and no ads. We're not doing the full package, but those are the two big things that everybody wants.
That's great. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So oh, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, we just want everybody to come out and play as many games as they possibly can during the whole week and 2 main days of the convention and break we call our concurrent user record, which of course is how many people are actually active on the site at one time. We're
Totally.
joking that we are kind of challenging people to break the site, although that's not going to
I don't think it's possible.
It's not going to happen.
I don't really want you to do that.
We have prepared.
We're prepared for it. But inevitably, I think we're shooting for like 20 or 25,000 people online is our goal. That's what we want at the same time.
Yeah.
We're going to track how many show up over the course of the 2 days, of course, and that'll be a huge victory. But, if we can get as many people online either Saturday or Sunday, that's kind of our goal.
That's
Last year
perfect.
We had about 36,000 people over the course of the con actively playing games. That wasn't all at one time, obviously.
Yeah.
But, so we'd like to beat that record this year.
That's perfect. And let me tell you what, something that I've learned about you who watch Tabletop Terrors, you Tabtarians, you get a couple energy drinks in these people and they'll do crazy things. And I'm telling you, the Tabtarians are going to break your record. That's what.
Awesome.
So go guys and girls. So just to reiterate, because I'm a person who likes to subscribe to the repetition is key.
Me too.
24th and 25th of this month. We're talking like 3 weeks from now, essentially. And if I'm a player, because this is very important to me, if I've never used Roll20 before, how easy is it for me to jump into this thing and not feel like I'm jumping out of a moving car and it's just going to pass me by?
Sure.
Well,
so I think the cool thing about this is we've got these games set up to be tagged separately on our Looking for Group tool. And specifically on that Looking for Group tool is also a tag that we've had forever called Looking for New Players or Accepts New Players. So if you go there day of, especially if people are doing pickup games, most of the GMs who do pickup games are ready for one-shots. They'll throw you into a character. The cool thing about Roll20 is all you need to do is sign up with an email and you're in. You don't even have to verify your email address to get into your account. You can grab a join link and go in and start playing right away. And there, if you do want to get ahead early, there's always a tutorial on the site and stuff like that. But Suzanne, did you have more to add?
No, I was going to say we should dive into a pickup game or schedule game.
Steve, the lead developer, will have pickup games on the site, so keep an eye out for those. Yeah.
So the lead developer is going to have like the coolest effect. I'm hoping, right? I mean, Steve's going to bring it.
Steve is a fantastic DM. Steve will, and maybe this your name.
Patient DM.
Yeah, that's true. The name of this show might suit your audience, but Steve pretty much only runs these like crazy horror games, and I love them. But Suzanne gets freaked out. Nolan got scared. I'm laughing the whole time because I think they're hilarious. And they're all terrified, and I'm just like, really? But no, I think he played with a bunch of people and freaked out a bunch of people last year. It was awesome. Yeah,
that's fantastic. Well, good. So if you're interested in getting your terrified game on,
yes,
then try to go. You're saying he's accepting players. Is this true?
He will be doing pickup games, so that means Steve's games won't go live until the convention. Yeah. And so you'll see. I mean, everybody knows his picture on Roll20 if you follow the forums. So if you go to the bug forums, look for Steve's face. You'll find it on the LFG on either Saturday or Sunday.
If you are a GM and interested in getting into Roll20 Con, but that exact thing is a thing for you that you're not sure exactly who you want to play with, I do strongly encourage you to try doing pickup games via the Looking for Group system during the con, because we've actually been getting a lot of people asking us about this, and we tell them to go to that group. But if you are scheduling, you're a GM and you schedule a pickup game, I'm pretty confident that you're going to find players and be able to dive right in.
Awesome.
We've also got for GMs that are getting started, we've also got a free module that's available to everybody on the app. That's a very basic getting started. It's 5e, right, Suzanne? James is
Yeah.
What's the name of that? Can you?
It's called the Master's Vault. You can find it easily on Roll20. In fact, it's free, so it's automatically an option when you go to create a new campaign in Roll20, create a new game. It'll show up on the right-hand side column as a thing that you can just one click, and it'll put the whole adventure in with characters and maps and handouts already laid out on there. So it's a really nice little one-shot adventure that was done by James Intricasso, who's a great friend of ours.
Cool. Very cool. And so I think, and then let me talk to everyone who's watching at this point, because we're going to go to the chat. We've got quite a few people watching, and we're going to take some questions and stuff like that and have a conversation. But what I want to say is that, for me anyway, this is probably the best time to jump in because of the free opportunity to enjoy some of the paid features, as well as the fact that you're going to have this myriad amount of people who are ready to play, whether you're a player or a game master. Be sure to be around on the 24th and the 25th. So here's my question for you ladies before I go over to the chat, which is the con taking place on Roll20 Con .net, or is it taking place on Roll20.net? Where do I go if I want to join in one of these pickup games?
So it's technically both. So if you want to go to roll20con.net, that's where you're going to find all the information. But all the links and everything are going to link you back to roll20.net. They're all the same. It's all connected. It's technically roll20.net/con. It just redirects because roll20con.net is better. But it's our main looking for group tool on the site that you're going to be looking for these games in. So I'll share that link with you, and you can throw it in your chat.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
The other thing that you can do during the con that I don't think we mentioned was that we'll have a live Twitch stream going for hours during the con. Stephanie mentioned the hours of it earlier, I believe. So if you aren't quite ready or need a break from all the gaming, which I kind of hope, with occasional breaks, you can go to twitch.tv/roll20 app and watch the Roll20 channel do all these awesome scheduled live plays that we're doing with some of your favorite streamers, some fun industry people. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that will get updated on. I think that's what's coming out on.
So this link I'm sharing has all the 18 and over games included. I'm assuming we're on. Is this an adult show or is this a kid show?
Yeah, I mean, it's. Okay. I'll put it this way: it's all ages.
It's all ages. Well, this has all the games, including 18 and over. If you don't want to see 18 and over games, you can uncheck the search box when you click on that. It's really long. It's a search link.
Yeah, it is. Woo. I feel like I'm searching an image on GeoCities.
I know, right? But this is, I just checked all the boxes for everybody is basically what I did. So
cool. That's great. And what I'll do is I'll share this in the live chat now. We've got some questions, and I'll also put that monstrosity in the, I'll put it in the, it's too long. It won't.
You can just do, it's okay. Just do this one for the people in your thing, because this is just the main search.
That's so funny.
And then they can find it
There
themselves.
we go. Cool.
Instruct them to search for Roll20 Con games.
Gotcha.
The people watching get the live list right now. Exclusive.
Perfect. So my good friend Rob from the channel Performance Check says, will Roll20 be getting any con-related content? Any capitalized con, as in like your Constitution score? Yuck. You Brit.
I was like, it's spelled capital CON in Roll20 Con. It is.
There you go.
Well, as a matter of fact, something we're going to be releasing like the week before, revealing as a little teaser, the week before the actual convention goes live, is the Roll20 Con exclusive art pack, which is something that you actually get in exchange for any donation of a minimum of $1 to Cybersmile during the convention. Awesome. So you will get this free art pack. It includes tokens, maps, tiles, coming from some of our favorite Roll20 creators, the people that sell on the marketplace on Roll20. So we really just opened up the door. So you will get a lovely little assortment of all kinds of new tokens and maps to play with in the future. And that is exclusive to the con. It is only available during this time.
That's excellent. Okay. So that's another great reason to jump in now. So really, again, the timing is key here. So be sure the 24th and the 25th. Got a great question from Nelson. And Nelson asks, is Roll20 available on consoles? And if not, are there plans to expand Roll20 out to consoles?
Okay. The chat.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. You work at a company that, especially as consumer-focused company, you get a lot of the same questions all the time, right? I've never gotten this question.
Oh, I know this one. You haven't? I get this all the time. This happens to me all the time. So, no. Or, I'm sorry, what was the question? It's not on console, and are there no plans? So, no, it is not on console. No, there are no plans to come to console. So we, although to be fair, you can access Roll20 from your console because Roll20 is browser-based. So while we do not technically support browsers via PlayStation 4 or Xbox, because obviously we know that those are a little wonky, we do work in most browsers. Our support may not answer your emails or tell you to call Sony. I'm just kidding. I would never do that. I would never do that, and I will tell Miles not to do that. But no. So yeah, no. We have no plans to make that kind of thing at this time, as Nolan would want me to say. Mainly the reason is because we are big on keeping that barrier of entry easy, and so we're very focused on keeping a browser-based system going. And I think if anything, and I know we've said this before, our next step really is to look more into making our mobile app more well-rounded.
Sure. Yeah, I could see that, especially, honestly, for me, being able to use that in various places, like set it up in a library and be able to run a game for beginners using that visual aid without having to bring my tackle box full of stuff and take up the whole
You
table.
can technically do most of that at this point with our tablet app. We do have a free tablet app that's for Android and iPad tablets that are over 7 inches, I believe is the requirement. And we call it
that thing now.
Yeah,
download
it's
it
free.
now.
It's basically everything but the maps or no, can they see them? Right, it's not the map. It's everything in the chat on the side. And character sheets and dice roller and everything.
Perfect. So your core stuff that you're going to need. And
yes.
We have actually a really good comment here from Jai Maz. And Jai Maz says, from my experience, there's not much of a learning curve. Maybe a couple of sessions to get the nuts and bolts. So that's good news. So if you are, if you're listening to this and you're like, yeah, I've been hearing about this Roll20, but I see screenshots and I don't know. Just jump in. It's like anything else. When you learn to play D&D, you mook, didn't you just start? You've got to start somewhere. So jump in.
True.
This is the weekend to do it. Free stuff, con exclusives, as well as helping out charity. So
yeah. And we do have a tutorial on the site as well if you want to, especially if you want to get into more like advanced features and learn how to use them. And we'll be looking later this year into expanding at that a little bit and figuring out more educational tools that we can help people who are getting off the ground get them started. So they can.
Perfect. That's great.
How many metaphors am I mixing? I don't know.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
Well, and so here's a question from Walking DM. Walking DM wants to know, do you have to pay for additional content like monster manuals? The last time I logged in, you had to.
Yeah, because the one that I think you're referring to specifically that we know and love is the licensed Roll20 version of the D&D 5th edition monster manual from Wizards of the Coast. And those are licensed products, so we do have to charge additionally for them. So yeah, they are individual purchases. They are one-time purchases per person. So you buy it, and then Monster Manual, for example, functions as a compendium expansion. So it blows open. We have the basic Roll20 compendium available for free users that includes SRD content. So only stuff from the system reference document that's, OGL, and as Wizards has said publicly that it's free for people to access. But if you get the Monster Manual, that'll expand into all of that delicious paid content with all the additional stats and whatnots and all the things. And then you can do things like drag and drop full statted monster tokens into your games.
Cool.
And you can do that still with the free stuff.
Yeah.
There's just a difference between what Wizards has given out for free within their system, within their system reference document versus the full books, which you would obviously always have to pay for. So the cool thing is if you start a game with the 5th edition OGL sheet by Roll20, that will unlock the compendium tab within your game. It's a little eye. And if you click on that tab, any of for any free user, any like Goblin, generic Goblin, you'll be able to click, drag it into an NPC character sheet. It'll autofill all of that character, save it for your next combat.
That's great.
It's pretty
okay,
rad.
Cool. So, I mean, I think those are great answers. And so this next one's a little trickier because, one of the things we're about here on Tabletop Terrors is we absolutely don't want to disparage anyone or cause conflict. But the way that this question is worded, I'm going to read it. But essentially, we're not trying to literally have you do this. We're just trying to basically compare two products. Someone said, can you sell me on Roll20 over Fantasy Grounds? I've used both of them, but haven't, committed to building a collection on either. So again, we're not saying
like to answer
sell
this
me.
question in the way I'm not going to really do exactly what you said, but this is what I will say.
Sure.
We get this a lot with like Fantasy Grounds versus Roll20. We don't have these conversations only because it's an industry. We're trying to make it better. Everybody's trying to expand. We are both licensors at the same table with Wizards. We wish the best to this company and the things they do and vice versa. My only sell is Roll20 is free at its core. So if you would like to try us, please give us a try. And if you need help, ask us on Twitter because I'm responding all the time. And that's it. I mean, if you want to try Fantasy Grounds, you should. I mean, if it suits your play style better, we're all gamers. We understand how this works. I'm not like, so we legit don't live in that world where we hate them or want them to fail or anything at all. We literally are just like, and we just don't play the game, I guess. Go ahead, Suzanne. Yeah, no, it's fine.
I was going to say our focus is on making Roll20 as good as it can possibly be and listening to our community and improving it as time goes on. Yeah.
We try to stick. Yeah, our goals are to be lowering the burden for all players and to be as system agnostic as possible. But those things have nothing to do with the others.
Well, I think it's a great answer because one of the things it's easy to do as a consumer is forget the human beings at the other end who are putting in their full work days to make this stuff happen. And so that's one of the things we always try to do at Absolute Tabletop is remind people there is a big enough pool of people who want to play RPGs to go around. And like you said, one of the things that really struck for me when you were speaking, exactly what you said, find the one that suits your play style. Find the one that's right for you and your group.
Well,
there isn't a wrong answer.
Other Hero Lab, there's all kinds of things people can try.
Exactly.
D20 Pro, right, is something. Is that a thing? I think that's a thing.
Hold on, I'm going to GoDaddy and registering that. Yeah. So in answer to your question, Colby, I think the selling point here, is like she said, it's free. So what do you have to lose? Go have an evening with it, and then you make your educated consumer decision. God bless America.
Our wiki's really awesome too. So if you're a consumer of tutorials via text like I am, as opposed to doing stuff, it's a good place.
That's perfect. So I had another great question here from the chat, and it was basically, I want to get the name correct, make sure it says, it's Joshua Rivera. Joshua Rivera says, what exactly do our donations go to benefit? And I know you mentioned it a little, but can you go a little more in depth?
I can actually answer that.
Do that.
Because specifically to give a little bit more background on CyberSmile, and then I'll answer your question directly, that they do they do a lot of stuff, but what they do that we love especially is that they have a lot of educational programs and outreach programs to help people understand what the pitfalls are for cyberbullying, how people can get exposed to it, and also help do support systems. And something that we did last year was with the funds that we were able to raise, we raised $3,500 last year during Roll20 Con 2016 for CyberSmile, and that paid for their communications budget for the entire year.
Whoa.
Which is really important because they're working with people all around who need to stay in constant contact via, all kinds of services in order to make sure that the people that they're supporting, everyone knows what's going on with them, and the other people supporting them, no updates and stuff, and, paying for all kinds of subscription services and whatnot. So we were really glad to be able to help support in that particular way.
So I'll read their little blurb from their website just because it's good. And so it's the CyberSmile Foundation is a multi-award-winning anti-cyberbullying nonprofit committed to tackling all forms of digital abuse and bullying online and working to promote diversity and inclusion by building a safer and more positive digital community. And so that last part is really our working to provide a more safer, positive digital community is a very Roll20 concept. This is something we've been trying to do since day one. With like our code of conduct is a great place to just shows you the kind of community we have built, and we think that Cybersmile is working in that same place.
Totally, and I think that's fantastic. And if you're watching this, if you're on the internet watching a YouTube channel about tabletop RPGs, you probably have experienced cyberbullying in some form.
Yes.
Hopefully not on the end of giving it, but the idea behind this is something that I think is very powerful. And I think in this day and age, especially people who might be not thinking how easy it is for one young person to contact another young person hatefully, or how easy it is, again, forgetting the person on the other end of the terminal.
Yeah.
And just seeing a Facebook screen or a Roll20 chat and saying things that stick with people for days. And, someone says something nice to me and I forget it in 30 minutes. Someone says something awful to me and I remember it for my life. And so this is cool.
Yeah, we definitely, we like what they stand for, and we definitely try to promote that attitude at Roll20 to the best of our ability. And so
into the core reason of why Roll20 exists in the first place. I mean, not only is it meant to be a tool to stay in touch over long distances, it's also because not only are comic book stores too few and too far between, and RPG specific stores that have local events and D&D hangouts and other role-playing game meetups and stuff like that. Those are few and far between, but also some people simply don't feel comfortable going into those for any kinds of reason. Maybe you're not comfortable, maybe you're not accepted because of your gender diversity or identity or something like that. Or, maybe you've just experienced some kind of bullying one too many times, or you have social anxiety. These are all things that we completely understand and we want to support. Wouldn't it be?
Oh yeah, I was just waving. I guess I should say like me, because it's Hangouts, right?
Right, exactly.
I don't mind letting the world know. I love being behind the computer. It's so much easier.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if there was like one more wall of like barrier and armor so that you can feel a little bit more protected and also enjoy playing games?
Sure. And I know many people who their most comfortable place gaming is online like this. And the other thing, if you're kind of on the fence still and you're wondering like, well, should I be a part of this? Something that I've learned and have experienced, and I'm very glad this happened, was I learned that the people who are taking the time to sit in front of a computer to do role-playing games, you're essentially pulling from a very large pool of talented, intelligent, often kind people. Whereas like you were saying, because I love, my friendly local gaming store. It's fun to go there. But just geographically, it's limiting to hope I'm going to find people that I connect with and are like-minded. It's just math. Going onto a dedicated website that over the course of a weekend is probably going to have about 40,000 people on there, you're just statistically increasing your odds of finding your gaming group.
Right. And our LFG tool has descriptions and people talking as they prepare for games, and people are there's applications on a lot of the games, and so you'll be able to like read through and actually find groups that make sense, and even to speak, like, not to go negative, but if you do run into a problem, we've got reporting tools, and we handle every flag that comes in on the site, and so if somebody is giving you trouble, then hit that button and I'll take care of it. That's the reality.
That's actually that's a really big deal. So it is.
We're pretty proud of that.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
And I got to say to Colby, the gentleman who asked the question, he goes, hey, that wasn't the intention. I was trying to figure out what the advantage between the two. So Colby, you're covered, man.
You're cool. We know.
Before, as an interviewer, I was like, so the viewers, I had to just do a nice big preface. But that's awesome. Jake from Mini Terrain Domain is here. What's going on, Jake? So I would say, is there anything else that you really want to reiterate or just hammer home to everyone? Any final thoughts, anything you want to go over again or that we haven't touched?
I think I would love to bring up the shirt again, just because I kind of like, I feel like, can we like give you a thing to like flash on the screen? I think we're like early enough.
What I do,
see if I can find it.
if you flash it on your screen, what I will do, a la Hangouts, I will click on you, and it will.
You're asking me to figure out how to do that in Hangouts?
Or you can send it to me. You can send it to me, and
no,
I can
it's fine. I'll do it.
All right, cool.
But while she's looking for that, because what
I found it.
Go to well, if you go to roll20con.net, you can see the full poster that we've had done for our beautiful key art for the Roll20 Con that we really, really love, and the Teespring T-shirt will incorporate elements from that.
Yes. So I'm just going to show you all. Yeah, we're really excited about this. So I'll just screen share this really quick. And if I'm talking, everyone can see it, right? Is that the idea?
Well, I actually what I did was I clicked on you. So even if you're silent or even like, exactly. So like my big mouth is running. Cool, so Hangouts would be,
so this is the shirt. We are going to put that out on the 17th. So starting when the, I'll try to zoom in actually, sorry.
You can probably see me. I was like.
Yeah, there we go. It's nice and blurry for everyone too. That's better. So what we did is Miles, our new customer support guy, has some Photoshop skills, and he removed the dragon from the poster and made it look better than I could. And so, yeah, we think this is the coolest shirt ever. And
it's very cool.
Yeah. So that, and then there'll just be a little Roll20. Oops, that's my stuff. I should stop screen sharing, right?
Yeah. Sorry, and I'm clicked on you. I'm like, okay. Oh, your social security number's up.
No, it's like. This is like what you just showed the world is how much of a hippie I am is really what it is. It's my from a growth mindset. The next time someone upsets you, don't tell them that's okay. I was once like that. It's just I'm happy.
So basically, people are gonna pause it on there and be like, "What's this girl like?"
It's called perception management for the very advanced souls. This is life-blowing stuff.
It's the same character token that you're using.
It is the same character token as our Storm Kings.
Yeah. That is so cool. Oh
it's
my gosh.
My current character. Yes.
Now I have one more question from Jake at Mini Terrain Domain, and it's a good one. It's a big one. How are you going to, or could you, convince a Theater of the Mind player like myself online to use something like Roll20?
Easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Easy. We actually have more people who are Theater of the Mind style using this on Twitch, I think, than the traditional people wanting to use that, all of our dynamic lighting and everything. And the reason for that is because you have this giant white tabletop and you have handouts, and handouts have the ability to pop up into other people's vision whenever you want. And so I did a Theater of the Mind with Steve, actually. One of our horror games was Theater of the Mind with Steve. And he literally was just popping pictures out in front of people and putting big photos on and still doing that kind of creative storytelling. And we have voice and video built in, so you can absolutely still convey, everything you need. It's definitely there.
Yeah. Plus, the only real difference, Roll20 is a virtual tabletop. It means that it's intended to take away the time of setting up and taking apart your kitchen table every time that you play. But it's also still, you can still, if you don't like to have too many images, you don't want tokens on the tabletop, you can just not do that.
Yeah. Then it's just doing the math for you, which is great. Nobody wants to do the math when they're gaming. Well, some people do. And to those people, please come and GM games at Roll20 Con.
Well, and I can tell you, I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that. I didn't know that you could just use the blank tabletop and, like you said, use dynamic lighting. Mm-hmm. And as a Theater of the Mind dungeon master, let me tell you while you were speaking, I'm thinking puzzles.
Yeah.
The trickiest thing to do with Theater of the Mind is you have to keep puzzles, pretty limber, and you got to make sure that you're using a lot of riddles or wordplay but this, I'm like, here you go. I'm going to go get an energy drink while you guys decode this cipher.
Yep. I actually play a lot of story games on Roll20, none of which are really intended to take a lot of setup or last beyond that session. They're all intended.
Can you give the viewers an example of something that's a story game?
I play Polaris. I play... See, now I'm going to blank on them all. Darn it.
Sorry. I just wanted to make sure they knew what you're talking about. So, like...
all of these little games that are... The Quiet Year is intended to be a sit down. It's almost a one shot, but it's a little bit more traditional RPG. But it sort of crosses that line. And those are all very simple games. In fact, The Quiet Year encourages you to draw as things occur. They say,
Cool.
the person who, you build the world and you tell the story of a world. You sometimes play characters, but you sometimes, just do world building the entire. Microscope is actually a big one that I love.
Yes, very familiar with Microscope. Yep.
Yeah. And all of those are just either like some of them are just writing on note cards, but everything else is entirely theory of the mind. And that's the kind of stuff that I use Roll20 for all the time.
It's perfect. So Jake, there's your answer. I think it was a good one. And yeah, I think this is going to be a big deal. I think it's going to be a great con. I want to remind everybody to go and check it out. Again, starting on the 17th, you can start getting used to the tools and enjoy some of those free benefits. So to me, not this Saturday, but the following, hop online and familiarize yourself with it a little bit so that the following weekend, the 24th and the 25th, you already have your jitters worked out. You kind of know your way around just enough, and you can hop into a pickup game, maybe even with a developer from Roll20 itself, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So just so you know, too, if people are ready to go look now, that looking for group tag for Roll20 Con is already live. So you can already start creating games and listing them and getting players or joining games now, even if you want to right now.
That's perfect. So everyone do that. Any final closing thoughts from you, Suzanne?
The only thing I want to say is come play with us, please. Roll20 Con is one more time, June 24th and June 25th, Saturday and Sunday. Start signing up for games. Come play with us. Break our site. Just kidding. Don't break our site. But do get on our site and get playing. And I hope to see you all there.
Break their site, guys. Come on, let's break this thing. Let's break this thing. I want to be the reason. We can be the reason.
Only if it's breaking it because so many people came online and it's a positive breaking.
Yeah.
That is a fair distinction.
An intentional because so many of you came and loved us. That's all I want to put that out there.
That is a very good asterisk to put on what probably sounds like I'm calling for anarchy. So,
yeah.
Stephanie, any final closing thoughts from you?
Not much. I thank you for having us. It's been really fun. And yes, please do come out and check out Roll20 Con, roll20con.net. You can head there now and see details on that Twitch stream. And yeah, Friday and over the weekend, we'll be announcing the GMs and the hosts and the players for the live event. So check it out.
Awesome. So everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching this. I'm Tim from Tabletop Terrors. I have been interviewing Suzanne and Stephanie from Roll20.net. Please go to Roll20 Con. It is going to be awesome, and you don't want to miss out. If you missed any of the links, go down to the dungeon, get you some XP. I think I made it like 10,000 XP for clicking on the 2 links. Come on, guys. You can get 20K in like 2 clicks, and they're free. What are you going to wear out your mouse? Just do it. But anyway, thanks for joining me on a Wednesday night. Love you all, and until next time, may your dice roll high.